Alright, hey there folks, this is Kevin with Divinely Designed, and we have a soap video. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a complicated soap. I had the idea to do the soap a while ago, but it has taken me a long time to get everything right. So I'm doing the soap based off of the fragrance, and the fragrance I'm using today is called Boston Tea Party, and it's from Nature's Garden, and it smells like sweet tea. It's gorgeous, actually. The scent is just lovely. So what I wanted to do was to try to make the soap to look sort of like a glass of iced tea. Now I've seen some similar things where, ice cubes are used, but they tend to use melt and pour. And I'm not such a big melt and pour guy. Nothing wrong with it, it just doesn't speak to me the way that cold process does. So, I wanted to do this cold process soap that looks like a glass of iced tea. So the first thing I really needed was a tall, skinny mold. I use the red Essential Depot mold. If you watch my videos, you've seen me use it. It fits perfectly in their cutter. But I wanted something that was skinnier and taller to sort of represent a glass of iced tea. So what I did was I made my own. Now this is a foam core outside, but then I made a latex liner for it. So this should give me a nice tall, not super tall, but taller than the regular mold I use. That will still fit inside the cutter, and you can see I have the demarcations of where the soap is. Now, if you watch my other videos, you know I've been making some molds lately. I didn't make a video of this. All it is, a box that went inside of this box, and then I poured between the little channel to give me a nice silicone liner that I can use for this. Okay? So, that's the tall, skinny part to sort of represent the glass. And then I wanted to do, the base color will be brown to represent the iced tea, but I wanted to do some other things. So I have some embeds. I have these white ones that are going to represent ice cubes, and I don't know if you can see, but I've mixed a tiny bit of gray in there. Let me put these down so maybe I can focus a little bit better. Okay, so hopefully you can see there's a little bit of gray in there, just swirled in. Again, I'm trying to go for kind of an ice cube kind of theme. And that will be sort of sprinkled on the top of the soap, maybe about a third of the way down, and on the very top. Then, for sort of decoration, I'm doing a lemon slice and a little mint leaf to go with it. The lemon slice is a custom mold that I made, and you can hopefully see I got some nice detail. Let me see if I can find a really good one here to look at. Okay. I'm just trying to get this to focus here. Okay, so this was a custom mold that I made. You can hopefully see that on the very outside is the actual part of the lemon rind, and then inside is the lemon itself. Now I didn't do such a great job with the color. You can see over here it's a pale yellow, and that's what I wanted for the flesh, but then this darker yellow I really just wanted for the rind, but it was really hard to get it just there. So I sort of have these half and half lemons. So not as good as I would like for these slices, but the outside looks really good. I got a nice texture. A nice texture from the mold. It came out really well. And these are scented with lemon sugar, and they smell just delicious. And then this was a tiny, I did not make this mold, I purchased it. They're actually little butter molds, and the name of the company escapes me at the moment. It's something like Lulelin or something like that, but I'll try to maybe put the link below. So these were little tiny mint leaves, and I fragranced this with Moroccan mint from Brambleberry. So my lemons smell like lemon, my leaves smell like mint, and my ice cubes don't have any fragrance at all. Okay, so you can see it's a little complicated. For the colors, I want to do brown, right, for the iced tea, but I want to give it a little bit of depth. So I'm going to do one brown that is going to be cappuccino from Celestial Colors, and just a tiny touch of black to darken it up. This is Blackest Black from TKB Trading, which they don't offer anymore. And then the other one is going to be a little bit more black to make it a little bit darker, and then some sweet potato from Celestial Colors, because if you had that really rich tea, it always sort of has that mahogany look to it. So I'm going to do a little bit of the lighter brown, the majority in the darker brown. I think I'll do an in the pot swirl, and then pour it in my mold. I also am going to add just a little bit of chamomile powder, and that's about 1.5 teaspoons. I'm just doing it because I don't know, chamomile and tea, it makes sense to me. Anyway, make it a little bit more special. All right, the recipe itself, it's my usual recipe, so I'm going to go over it in terms of percentages. I have 42 ounces of oil, and the breakout is 33.3% olive oil pomace, 20.8% coconut oil 76 degree, 16.6% cocoa butter, 16.6% shea butter, and 12.5% castor oil. I have, so that's in grams, that's 1,189 grams of oil total. For my lye, I have 613 grams of lye water, and the concentration is a 26.36% concentration of lye. Okay, my temps, I checked a little bit ago. This is my lye water's around 70, my oils are around 90, so I think we're good to go. Okay. All right, that was a long explanation. Let's get started. Now, this fragrance isn't supposed to accelerate, but it does discolor a little bit. And the notes from Nature's Garden say it discolors slightly yellow, which is fine. I think that should work out okay. I think that should work out okay within the color scheme I'm going with anyway. So I'm going to add my chamomile powder and all of my fragrance. And then we'll give that a good blend. So I think we're just getting emulsified now. And it is kind of a yellowish tint already. And some of that is from the chamomile powder. The chamomile gives it a little bit of a tint too, but that's pretty yellow. Okay, I think that's good. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit more when I get the colors in place. Just starting to come to trace there. Okay, so I'm gonna divide this up sort of About a third in the lighter brown, I think, and then more in the darker. Well, we'll see. Oh well, it's going to be closer to half and half. I got this funky new scraper from Bed Bath & Beyond. They were on a special. So we'll see. I bet you a regular old spatula is going to be just fine. Although that worked okay. Alright. So these are pretty full, unfortunately. So let's do the cappuccino. This will be the lighter one. And a tiny bit of black. And let's give that a stir. Alright, I think I want it a little darker. Adding a little bit more cappuccino. And just another tiny little bit of black. Okay, I think that's good. And then here, cappuccino, a little bit more black, and sweet potato. Ooh, that's perfect. I clearly should have used slightly bigger containers. That's nice. I'm going to add just a little bit more of the sweet potato. Okay. All right. I'm making a mess. Because my containers are too small. Let me just get this out of the way here a little bit and clean up. Okay, that dark brown is good though. I'm glad. I'm happy with that. And I think together, when I mix the two, it's going to give a nice depth. Now, I'm not necessarily going for swirls. I just don't want like a solid brown color in the soap. I want it to have some depth. Okay, so all right, I'm just swirling it around in here in the pot. This, if you like iced tea, this fragrance is delicious. It's very strong with a tea scent. It also has a bit of a lemon and a bit of sweetness to it. So it reminds me more of kind of southern sweet tea. Not quite as sweet as that. Like southern sweet tea smells very sweet to me. So this is close, but I don't think it has as strong of a sweet note to it as real southern tea does. Okay. That's good. All right, I'm going to give it a, because I'm not really going for the swirl so much. I'm going to give it a little bit of a mix with a chopstick, just to, again, I want that sort of contrast. Okay. Not too much. I mean, I don't want it to become all one color. All right, here we go. Get this out of the way. Okay. So this is my tall, skinny mold. See if I can get a good angle there. All right, I'm going to pour in the majority of it. But not all of it. Because I want to start putting in some of the ice cubes. Because I don't want them all just sitting on the top. I want some within the soap itself. So nothing fancy. So maybe a half of this, the ice cubes, maybe a little less. All right, and we're going to cover them up, or mostly cover them up. Okay, more ice cubes. And all I did for the ice cubes was, you know, pour some white in the bottom of a silicone mold, just an inch or so of soap, and then just cut it into squares. That's it. Okay, let me put the rest in here. These are going to be pretty big bars. Weight-wise, I mean. They'll probably be close to 7 7 ounces each, which is a pretty big bar. Okay, that's all my tea. Okay. I may have to shore this up a little bit because I'm getting a little bit of bowing in the middle. And I may actually I'm debating if I should take some soap out because it's pretty full. And if I push the middle together, I'm going to get a little bit of an overflow. So it's staying nice and loose. I mean, it's sort of at a light to medium trace right now. You know, I couldn't do a textured top with this probably because it would flow back in, but it's not liquid either. Okay. All right. So we'll do a lemon slice. And I'm just, lining them up so that when the cutter comes in, it'll go between the lemons, hopefully. And there are some ice cubes that I'm sort of hitting. I'm just sort of pushing them down with the lemon. I'm really happy with how the lemons came out in general. I have to work on getting the colors a little bit better. Okay. And then a mint leaf. And let's see, should I put it? Now, some of these may get cut by the wires, and I'm trying to line them up, so I really don't want the lemons to get affected. The leaves are not such a big deal. And then I think, yeah, then we'll put just sort of the remaining ice cubes. And if these get cut, that's no big deal. Okay. All right, I'm just going to finagle with trying to line these up a little bit more, closely. But I think that's pretty good. All right, so there we go. All right, after the break should be the cutting. I don't know if I'll do the unmolding because this is not the most easy to unmold. I may actually have to take the box apart, which is only foam core. So I may do a wooden box for this anyway at some point. But I figured I just made the mold in it, so I would just keep it in it for now. Okay, so after the break should be the cutting of my Southern Sweet Tea soap. So stay tuned. Hey folks. Okay, Kevin here with Divinely Designed. And we're doing the iced tea soap. So here it is. It just slid out of the box, so that I was pretty happy about that. It's been in the fridge, and it's been about 7 hours. This is the first time I'm using this silicone mold, this custom silicone mold. Sorry if I'm out of the shot here for a second. I'm just sort of peeling off the silicone. And let's see if I can get the soap out. Okay. Well, that wasn't too bad. It just sort of peeled right off. Okay. So, this is going to be interesting. I've never done this mold. I did sort of design it to fit within this cutter. I hope that I get between the lemons . Ooh, that worked out great. I think I sliced a tiny little bit of the lemon. Now, this is kind of okay. Well, it's slicing okay, but it's a little hard. So it kind of wants to push. Darn it. And it's a little soft, so it's sort of squishing down at the bottom. All right. So, oh, this is going to be terrible if it wrecks this. Okay. All right. The backup plan, I suppose, will be to cut it by hand. Okay. Well, I sort of got it started, so I know where the marks should be, or the cuts should be, for nice even slices. So darn it. All right, let's try this. Okay. Let me put down another. Towel here. Okay, so there's one. Not quite as good as I would have liked it. Oh. Darn, these embeds are making the soap slices a little bit weak. Darn it. All right, let me keep trying here. Okay. So these aren't coming out quite as good as I envisioned in my head. And the ice cubes are causing some problems, I think, because there's so many of them. And so, like, this side has a bunch of ice cubes that looks okay, and then this one didn't get as many. Well, the tall, skinny part worked okay. I mean, that's a much taller, skinnier bar than I normally get. This one isn't so bad on this side. Looks okay. You sort of get the idea. And that was not too bad. So when I clean these up a little bit, I think some of them will look fairly good. Right now they're a little bit messy because of me cutting. I'm not really the world's best cutter with a knife. That's why I was hoping to be able to use the wire cutter. Because as I cut these, it's so disappointing. It's sort of breaking in the middle where some of the ice cubes are. But, you know, these aren't that old, so I'll let them sit and see how they do. They might firm back up after I've sort of played with them a little bit. And like, this is a really thick bar. So some aren't quite as thick. And I designed this mold so that when it cuts off the ends, it gives me a thicker end piece, so I could use those for test pieces or sample pieces, but I clearly messed it up here. So, okay, the concept I thought was cool, and I put a lot of energy into making this. The final product is sort of so-so. You know, there are one or two that look like that one looks pretty good. I mean, you can kind of get the sense that it's, you know, it's iced tea, or it's supposed to be, like, but some of the others, the ice cubes didn't fall out correctly, or it's sort of cracked in the middle. So anyway, I'm gonna, you know, I'll let them rest for a couple of days. I'll clean them up and see how well they do. And see if it's worth sort of trying to save some of them. Some of them are just thin, some of them are thick. The iced tea smell is pretty light right now, so we'll see how that does too. It smelled very strong out of the bottle. So I think I used about 0.8 ounces per pound of oils for this recipe, so it was on the stronger side. Right now I smell it, but it's certainly not as strong as it was, so we'll see how the fragrance works also. Okay, that's it. Comments, questions, leave them below. Go get yourself a nice cold glass of iced tea and relax. If you like it, subscribe, and check back for more soap related videos. Bye now.